boot the rec, bro.
Oh my
All right,
god.
yo,
VC is
yo, bro, someone booted the rec, bro. You gotta you gotta restart, bro. Okay, so again, for the recording, the topic is Shiva versus Daniel equal stats martial arts. Jester's argument is that like his character can read my character's like intentions and shit, right? Hello, hello.
Yeah, go ahead. They redo the rec.
Yeah, yeah, like someone kicked it for no reason. But yeah, Aston, can you OBS it as well, just in case, if you're down for that? But
Yeah, sure, I got you.
all right, thank you. Yeah, so yeah, like you can go on with like your scaling, like if you have scans and stuff, you want to show me shit.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay.
You ready to start?
Yeah. Go for
The
it.
recording back in? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much my character knows the intentions of his enemy opponents, and he just knows exactly when they're gonna punch and how they're gonna punch.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a big gripe with that. So like, I mean, even if I grant you that, I mean, actually, you can just send me this. We could talk, but like,
You want to send it?
yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Wait, where are you sending it?
It's an important scans.
I can't type in important scans. May I have permission, sir?
Chat about her. Right.
Yeah, all right. So seeing your opponent strike in advance, reading the opponent's deepest intention. All right, thank you. So yeah, so
You should have
yeah, I do now. So I have a few problems with this. Like, I mean,
Uh-huh.
I don't think this like would work on my character because my character, like most of the characters in the Hindu pantheon, are able to suppress their intentions on a level like where I can quantify it. Like because another character was like stronger, like has an ability that's stronger than this. Shiva stated to be a better fighter.
Can you prove they could suppress their intentions?
Yeah, I got it. So it's
Like
in the apocalypse.
your character can.
Yeah. So I'll explain to you. Yeah, I got you. So hold on. Let me pull up the apocalypse. Uh, oh my god, stop pinging me, bro. I can't save my scans, bro. Hold on. I was trying to save and then I clicked on Azriel's fucking screenshot, bro. Holy shit. Yeah. Okay, so I'll send it in important scans. Yeah, it's and I already got the scans. It's the Juke stuff. Yeah. So basically, when Juke and his squad are fighting Indra, right? Indra, by the way, is a weaker fighter. Like stated verbatim to be a weaker fighter than Shiva.
Okay.
Indra directly explains because this area, like the Hindu pantheon, like the whole thing about it was like betrayal, surprise attacks, and stuff. A lot of these fighters had to like suppress their intentions to like survive in this area. And in combat, like they literally explained that like he kept like his intentions completely suppressed. And I think that it's on a level where Daniel would not be able to read it because there are fighters who have like a similar ability to Daniel.
Instinct. Hold on, let me see. I was letting my instinct lead out just enough. It should have definitely worked. That surprise attack from his blind shot. He kept his completely suppressed.
Yeah.
Back. Sneak attacks, ambushes to see any that sort of anything goes was commonplace. It was damn terrible. And this is your character talking, right?
This is Indra. He's like one of Shiva's goons. He kind of explains like, yeah.
Back then amongst the pantheon, betrayal, lynching. He's like sneak attack ambushes. It was confidence. So you're talking about hiding their intentions to like sneak them?
I mean that's a part of it. And like in this fight, like the comments like he like the guy Indra's fighting, he says like, oh, like that attack should have worked. But like
I think we're talking about two completely different things.
What do you think you're talking about?
Yeah, so when they're talking about like intentions in combat, they're specifically referencing like their want to attack to a certain place or like just movement because it's based on his not the smoke alarm. Yeah, it's based on his heightened five senses predicting strike paths, which is exactly stated. He's able to like more than like 100% accurately predict strike paths. and you're talking about them hiding their intentions to betray each other and sneak each other.
I
So I
mean,
don't
I
think we're
mean
talking about the same thing.
yeah. So a few things.
That's
So for
not me, by
one,
the way.
yeah, it's fine, bro. Like
Not my smoke alarm.
you win the fire alarm allegations, bro.
For sure.
I mean, oh, fuck, did someone fart, bro, or is that just me? Like, who heard that?
Oh, give me
Yeah.
a second. Can you
Nah,
pause for a
gang,
second,
that's
bro?
some Indian martial arts.
That's the Indian martial arts. All right. Because it's referring to a combat setting. Because what these I'll explain to you why it is. Like Shiva just explains
Yo,
how
I'm
he's.
not here. Why are you still?
Oh, my bad, my bad, my bad. I'm lost in the garlic. Sorry, King. Sorry, King. Yo, that was not me who farted, bro. That was fucking Aston, bro.
Bro,
Okay.
can y'all please unmute Infinity? Like I can't even concentrate on this debate
He's
and I'll be
addicted to
judged.
Infinity's voice, bro. He's like,
Here, I'll unmute him, bro. No worries.
I need it.
Yo, thank you, bro. Oh my god. Yo, you
Yo,
the
Wait,
goat,
listen,
bro.
wait,
listen, bro. You
Infinity, bro, I was trying to do it.
you speak mid fucking my debate when Jester comes back, bro. You're getting put back on mute, bro.
Bro, who is doing the knocking shit, bro?
Alright, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I won't speak.
It's
Yo,
it's
Aeroflame,
okay.
I'm a big fan, bro. Can you teach me how to be a good debater while also maintaining a job just like you? Yo, Aeroflame, I'm a big fan, man. Yo, Aeroflame.
Bro, stop with the
Go to
fucking
work.
knocking shit.
Yikes. And then when you
Aeroflame.
get off work, you debate.
Bro,
Yo,
put the soundboard fucking shit off, bro.
Aeroflame,
Okay,
Put
bro.
it
okay, okay.
off.
Aeroflame, bro. Like Six is a dictator, bro. Like you need to understand, bro.
Yo,
He's
Zizo, make
evil.
your argument. Make your argument. He won't
Yeah,
contend, bro.
make my
Make your
argument right
argument.
now, bro. Jester won't
Yeah,
track
make your
it.
Look,
Like,
argument.
look,
Make
look,
your
look,
argument.
look.
That's so crazy. Y'all gotta chill.
Yo, get an
yeah,
argument, bro. Go ahead.
Make
yeah,
it.
Six.
Make it. What are you doing, bro?
Yeah, my argument, bro, is that Six is the devil,
Yo,
bro.
Hermes, can you shut the fuck up?
Six is a
Bro,
devil
what you
worshiper,
trying to
Whoa,
bro.
whoa,
bro?
hold on,
That's
hold on,
about
hold on,
six,
hold on,
bro.
hold on, hold on, hold on. Can you please unmute my friend Mono here? I don't know why he's muted at
Yo, bro,
all.
bro, the
Yo,
VC.
Zizo's low key winning already, but
Can you
continue.
please unmute my friend Mono?
thank you, bro. Like,
Thank you, bro.
damn.
Thank you.
Yo, bro, this
Now,
thing,
now it's
is
time to be
Jester about to pull a
properly
Timius,
judged this
bro?
debate
Yo,
Can
because
Jester
y'all
about to pull a
please?
Timius.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Zizu, bro.
Yo,
Zizo,
Jester might
make
pull
your
a Timius.
argument, bro.
Yo, Jester might pull a Timius, bro. He might just fucking leave.
Talking
Shit,
about to me.
hopefully.
The greatest ever do.
Yo,
Zizo,
can
make
y'all
your argument,
please
bro. Zizo, make
unmute
your
my
Oh my,
friend
argument.
bro, stop
Careless?
bugging me, bro.
It's hard to focus while
yeah,
Careless is
bro,
muted. Can y'all please
yeah,
unmute him?
exactly, bro.
What is
Can
Dicky
y'all
doing?
please unmute Careless?
In
Yo,
order to
y'all need
judge,
to,
I
bro.
need a
Y'all are,
competent
bro.
debate, so you gotta
Yo,
I'll
I
unmute
can't
unmute
watch the
him.
debate
Wait,
without
hold on,
y'all
hold
being
on.
muted.
I'll unmute your dog, but if he starts tweaking, I'm kicking him.
Yo, thank you, bro. His name is
What's his
TG
name?
Hellraiser.
That nigga finna
T.
Yo,
get
this is
I
why
don't
muted.
I'm a
even. I
fan of
don't
you,
even trust
Aeroflame. You
bro's
have
name,
such
bro. I don't even
pride and
trust bro's
integrity.
name, bro.
Yo, Infinity, bro. Where's my
Yo,
pride
Who
what's
and
the
up,
fuck
man?
keep
integrity?
farting?
You know, you're like a level 7.
Ooh, thank you, bro.
We
I'm a big
almost
fan of you, by
seven.
the way.
What?
I'm a big fan of you, bro.
Thank you, bro. I love you too, bro.
Thank you,
Airflame,
bro.
whenever
Yo,
you're
single
finished
finish.
Yeah,
Shut
speaking,
your
why?
can you
old
say
gay
Yeah,
ass
something?
up,
yeah,
nigga.
can we mute already?
Yeah, yeah.
Bro,
Suppress the VC,
I
Jester,
heard you
bro.
guys.
Do
I
it.
thought I suppressed it. I literally got. I
No,
don't know.
Nigga, we're gonna mute, nigga. You were going.
How are
Gotta let
they
him debate, bro.
speaking?
all right. So you're back. Yeah. So, hello. Are you here now or
Yeah,
like?
go for it.
Okay. Yeah. So I was explaining to you like why this is in a combat setting. The whole betrayal thing isn't like what he's talking about. Like when he's explaining like how it works, he's just talking about how he got that like suppressed intention thing. But in the fight, like they were trying to like use like take advantage of Indra's like intention to get openings and blind spots, but like they just couldn't read him, and that's why.
Is that there?
Is what there?
That scan that you're talking about?
Which it's the first one. It says that surprise attack from his blind spot should have worked, but he kept his intentions completely suppressed. And then like that's when Indra like explains in the panels after, like why he's like that.
They're talking about his. They're talking about his bloodlust in that scan specifically, though.
You think that's bloodlust? Why?
I think they just say it straight up.
Where did
I
he
was
say
letting my
bloodlust?
killing here.
That's the god, yeah. Like that's the other god he's
I was
fighting.
letting my killing instinct leaked out just enough.
Yeah, that's talking about that god.
It said impossible before I was letting my killing instinct leak out just enough. It should have definitely worked. That surprise attack from his blind spot, but he kept his completely suppressed.
I think that's just talking about like his fighting instincts and instincts in general, because in this context, like killing intention is like indexed fighting, correct?
Yeah, hold up. He let his killing instinct
Yeah,
suppress.
because yeah, it's like
Killing instinct.
yeah. So basically, like these gods like were trying to jump him and shit, and what these gods did is like, and by the like these gods all like have their senses like refined to, like good state of but
Is killing instinct not bloodlust?
I mean, it could be an aspect of it, yeah, but I think in this context, it's just referring to, like fighting in
Yeah,
general.
I think
And
that's
Indra,
just in terms of blood. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's just in terms that Scan is talking about bloodlust. I don't think that has to do with what I saw.
but
Wait, hold on, my fault. Let me just. I don't know how he's using that shit. He's using an internal thingy. Yeah, I certainly don't know. But regardless of anything, yeah, he's just speaking of bloodlust. What I'm talking about is a character that could use their 5 senses to like see strike patterns appear before they even happen.
I mean, a
I
few
don't think
things,
we're
yeah,
talking about the same thing.
yeah, a few things. So for one, Indra isn't really bloodlusted. He isn't actively trying to. Your argument would make sense if he was trying to kill them here, but like he clearly like it doesn't have like the intent to kill you. Like he's not like killing them, especially since he beats the living shit out of them and like spares them in the end. But about the other thing, there are characters in the verse in Record of Ragnarok who are stated to be worse fighters than Shiva will have like literally the exact. It's like that's why I'm extending this. Like,
Yeah, show me that. Let me see.
yeah. So you know about okay. So for one, are you aware like that Shiva is stated to be like the best fighter in heaven or the best brawler in heaven?
Doesn't really mean anything to me, but can I see
Okay. Yeah.
Can I just see the
So,
person using it?
Yeah. You know who Buddha is?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. You know what Buddha does? His
What
ability.
does Buddha do?
Okay. So Buddha basically can see your soul and the will of your intention, which is like literally the exact same thing as what Daniel did. So basically,
Can you post it?
yeah, I'll send it in important scans for everyone to peep. To put it more technically, Buddha's eighth consciousness is able to see the fluctuations of the soul. Whenever a person decides on a course of action, the soul or the will moves before the body. By
Oh, you
seeing the
posted it
radiance
already?
of the will. Yeah, I
Yeah,
sent it.
Buddha's consciousness is able to see the fluctuations of the soul whenever a person decides on a course of action, the soul or the will moves before the body. Okay, by seeing the radiance of the will, by seeing the movements of the light within every creature, Buddha knows what will happen next. Okay, and so you're scaling your character above Buddha, and why is he scaled above Buddha?
I just told you, and like you just didn't like really respond to it. I just said like he's stated
No,
to be
I'm
the best
asking to
fighter.
reaffirm it. He's
Oh yeah, he's
the
stated
best
to be
fighter in
the
heaven.
best fighter in heaven.
When?
By Hermes, like he said, I'll send you that scan too.
Yeah,
So
let me send it. Yeah.
like, they say verbatim, like, hold on, let me get that. My bad. Where is it at? Oh yeah. If someone already has like the stand of Shiva being like the best brawler in heaven, like, they can send it. But oh yeah. Da, 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 da. So no matter how unnatural Raiden's strength may be, he would have been no match for heaven's greatest brawler. And like the kanji there uses Kinkashi brawler.
Who did Shiva fight?
Shiva fought Raiden, a martial arts master, the best sumo fighter, like this best sumo wrestler in the verse, like one of the best like mixed martial artists in the verse.
And who did Buddha fight?
Buddha fought Hadra.
He fought Hajun? Okay.
Yeah, like the demon god. Like
here we go. Yeah, show me. And you posted a strongest statement already?
yeah, yeah, like it's an important.
Why are they just posting? Okay, I don't know. Don't post that again, Hermes. I'll just ban you. Let me see. If Raiden hadn't been so adamant about how that sumo thing would happen, if that human had fought with his anything ghost style until the very end, no matter how unnatural Raiden's strength may be, he would have been no match for heaven's greatest brawler, Shiva. If I might say it, it was that special technique, in other words, that sumo, honed through a daunting amount of discipline that allowed the Rikishi Raiden to meme on. I mean, his greatest brawler was that you saying that he's the best fighter, period?
Yeah, because the way they use brawler, especially in ROR,
define brawler, by the way.
They don't really like. There's no like definition for it, but like
I'll give you the usually when they say like brawler, like when somebody's a brawler is like just like this like in context of like a rowdy drunk or a person who likes fighting a lot. So like, this is I think that indexed to like Shiva is just a guy who likes fighting a lot, and through the people in heaven that engage in that type of activity consistently, he's the strongest amongst them.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a few problems with this. Like for one, the kanji used here is like the kanji kinkashi, which means either like brawler or fighter. Anyways, two.
Bro, hold on. I gotta. Yo, okay. I'm banning. Like, you want to get banned right now?
What's happening, bro?
He's just posting porn in chat. I
What
don't know why.
happened?
I'm gonna ban you. I promise you, I'll ban you right now.
Yo, chill, don't ban Mono,
No, send it.
bro.
I promise you,
Take
I'll ban you
me,
right now.
not him.
I'm banning you right
Take
now.
me, not him. Don't ban Mono.
Okay.
No.
Yo, don't ban. Chill, chill. Yo,
Nah,
his
nah,
finger
nigga
slip,
watch
bro.
my bait.
His finger slip, bro. Chill, chill, chill.
Yeah,
His
continue,
finger
Zizo?
slip, bro.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you bring the criminals to justice?
I'm just I told him if he just posts again, I'm just gonna ban him.
All right,
But
all
go
right, all
ahead.
right. So my bad, but yeah. So the kanji used for one is kinkashi, and the way like we see Shiva fight and Rudra fight is like using a lot of martial arts, anyways. And what we see Shiva do against Raiden is fight him with like his martial art, like his dance,
One of
right?
Shiva's martial arts. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's his dance.
Okay, but that's not a lot of martial arts. You said he fights using a lot of martial arts. What does
I
that
mean,
mean?
did I say a lot of martial arts? I just said martial
Yes, you
arts.
did.
Right?
Okay, but that's that. I can grant you that could be a martial art, but you could still have a martial art and be a brawler. Do you not know that?
I mean, I'm just saying contextually like what it's referring to because I think
Yeah,
when it talks
then
about
that
brawling,
means you agree with me. No, you just agreed with me. Okay,
I
somebody
don't
could
agree
have
with you.
wait,
No,
no. Let me explain. Somebody could have
sure,
a
go for it.
martial art. Yeah, you said they fight with a lot of martial arts. Okay, retract the statement. They fight with a martial art. Somebody could still have a martial art and be recognized as a brawler, which is just like a guy who just likes fighting a lot.
I understand that, but like what we're talking about is what's in question here. When it says greatest brawler, it's not talking about like his like greatest love for brawling. Like that's not what brawler refers to here. And I'm just getting to why contextually that
Why
doesn't make
wouldn't it?
it wouldn't make sense because if it was just his love for brawling, it wouldn't index to why Raiden wouldn't be able to do anything against Shiva. Like if he's just talking about how much he loves him.
I think that is. I think that is. It's just a guy who enjoys fighting a lot.
So
And if
why okay, I
a
understand
guy,
that, but why would
brother,
Hermes use that?
you're literally trying to sell. You're literally trying to tell me that brawling is not indexed. Oh my god, bro! I hate these
Who's
videos. That brawling is not indexed to somebody who loves. If Shiva's a guy who loves fighting, right? A guy who participates in a large amount of fighting with his martial art ability, then he has fighting experience. So saying somebody lost to somebody because he's too good of a brawler is just a fine statement with me. That's all it means.
Okay, but you said right now that like what greatest refers to here is his greatest amount of love for brawling. Like that like I want to make that
No,
clear. Is
that's
that
not
what
what
you're
I'm
saying?
saying. No, I'm
Okay.
saying they're just saying he's the greatest brawler.
Okay, exactly. And what we're talking about is what brawler means here, right? And
Yeah, I don't think brawler fits everybody under the category. I disagree with that.
I disagree with that. Like for one, again like if we're gonna say that it's rough styles of fighting, Shiva is not fighting roughly like in context against Raiden. Like I'd
Okay,
love
he
for,
uses one martial art. He uses one martial art, right?
but it's not rough or drunk style of fighting. That's just not true.
His whole thing is being unpredictable. Yes or no?
Yeah,
Okay, so
like
it's a completely unique style to him where his whole purpose is to be unpredictable. He's not exactly fighting with some modern, very straight, basic martial arts. No.
oh, I agree with that.
So he's not known for being
But that's not
clean.
that's
He's known
wait,
for
but brother, that's not a defeater to
wait,
my claim.
but okay. So if he's not known for being clean, then he is a rough house, rough edge
Wait,
fighter. That's why they were calling him
whoa,
a brawler.
that's a jump in logic. The reason why this is a jump in logic is because what we're talking about here is like what rough and like drunk, noisy style of fighting, and like what I interpret it to be, I guess, is what do you mean? What?
You
Like I didn't even
said
say anything.
you said rough, drunken, noisy style.
That's what you were saying a brawl is, right? That's what you said.
Yeah, like rough and noisy fights. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying that if we're using that definition of brawler and that's your justification for why it doesn't apply here, I'm saying that if you look at the fight that Shiva has with Raiden, a lot of his movements are described to be like flowing and smooth. So that doesn't make any sense.
That's fine. Like a brawler can still have flowing and smooth motions. That's
But
okay. That doesn't
I
deny him
mean,
being a brawler.
so can a martial artist, and like I don't see how this definition negates anything. Like the definition doesn't apply to Shiva
Yeah, but I'm not. Oh my goodness. I'm not
because
saying you. I agree, Zizo. You're lost in the sauce. I
okay,
agree that a brawler could be a martial artist. I don't disagree with that notion. I'm saying that a guy whose martial art could just be brawling, they call him a brawler. Definitionally, what he is to be unpredictable, and that kind of fits with the criteria of how brawlers are.
I disagree. I think like
Unpredictable, like rough edge fighters. Like that's literally like.
brawler. I mean, I wouldn't understand like where you got the idea that brawlers like are usually like unpredictable. Like in the conventional sense of a
I'm
martial art,
saying
because
it can be. I'm saying it can be applied to them, right?
like
Even if he
let's
has smooth, even if he has smooth motions, he could. It still means like he could still be a brawler. That doesn't deny him being a
okay,
brawler.
so if a brawler is a rough fighter and a guy uses primarily smooth motions, how does those definitions like coincide? Explain that.
It says engages in rough and noisy fights, right? You could still
Exactly.
have smooth and fluid motions and be a rough and dirty fighter. Like that's perfectly okay.
Yeah, but I'm saying that contextually here, that like it's not talking about a person who engages in like drunken style, like rough, noisy fights, and the reason
That
for
doesn't, he
that.
doesn't have to be necessarily just drunken style fights. I think it is if it's the case that he's unpredictable, right? To some degree, that is rough because that's not something that's orthodox or normal
That doesn't
of
make
what
your
people do.
wait,
It's if it's not
Jester.
orthodox or it's not.
Your
Listen to
burden.
me,
Hold on,
brother,
I'll
brother.
explain to your burden. Like just to be clear,
Brother,
like I want to make
you're
it super
literally
clear what
interrupting
your
me
burden is.
in the middle of my sentence. You're literally interrupting
All
me in
right,
the middle of
all
my
right, my
sentence.
bad.
If he's not, if they call him a brawler verbatim on the page, and his fighting style is
Oh my god.
unorthodox, right? It's unorthodox. It's not normal. It's not. You can't really argue that it's considered clean. I'm okay with him having smooth motions, but if he has smooth motions and he's unpredictable at the same time, you could have every right to call that rough fighting. That I have no problem calling that rough fighting.
Okay,
I have no issue with
because
somebody being a martial artist and being a rough fighter at the same
because
time.
I understand that, but the burden that I'm trying to put on you is you connecting unpredictability to rough style of fighting, because I don't think those two are like remotely connected, and that's what I'm saying. There's a leap in logic there, because when you argue for it being quote unquote rough or like it being unpredictable, therefore it applies like to the definition of brawler. The jump in logic there is that you're assuming unpredictable means rough, and for the record, it has no connection to it, and the reason why it doesn't is again
Zizo.
he's called unpredictable, yet he's called smooth and calculated.
Yeah, I told you that's okay, like under like what I'm defining for brawlers to be. But I'm gonna ask you a question. What do you think is necessarily clean fighting? What do you think clean fighting is? Give me a
What I
definition.
think necessarily
Give
like
me a
clean
sense.
fighting is fighting that's, I guess you can call it calculated, precise, accurate, those kind of things. Because when I imagine a brawler, it's just a person like who's just flailing around wild, like getting
No, bro,
hit, like
listen, listen. That that's not necessarily the case because there's a lot of UFC fighters that are brawlers that like to get right in there, but they're clean and calculated, right? Like for example, you could even call Ilya a brawler. Ilya likes getting in your face and swinging overhands and left hand. That in itself is an art that could be considered calculated
I
and very
Jester,
very giving and rewarding in your method of fighting. So you
Jester.
could
I
still
I
be
know you're gonna hate me for this, but like
under
I
my
really
definition,
I
you could
really
still
I,
be a brawler.
all right, hold on. Like, because this is kind of important. Like, I know you might hate me for this, but I don't really like keep up with the UFC. Like, I don't know who like Alia is like that. How he
It's just
fights.
it's fine. It's just an example. I'm just saying somebody could still be considered a brawler, right? Somebody who likes getting into people's faces and swinging a bunch, right? Like just swinging from side to side. But that even that in
Wait,
itself
yo,
could
wait,
be
hold on, stop one
stop
second.
stop.
No, no,
What
it's
do you
important.
say?
It's not about the debate. It's not about the debate. Did someone time out Aston, the like the recorder of the debate?
Was
Yo,
Aston
like,
posting porn?
was he?
Ask him. That's why we're
He's
timing niggas
Not
out.
timed
That's why
out.
we're
He's
timing
not
niggas
timed
No,
out.
hold
not
on.
timed
I
out.
think the reason why he was timed is because he told Hanya Tissue had tougher skin than he did.
Oh my god, bro! Like,
Yeah,
can y'all
sorry
can
about
y'all
the
Uh,
rap.
relax?
A
He's the guy
grown-ass man who's
recording.
35 had to fucking kick
Okay,
him from
okay,
his
relax,
seat.
relax, relax. Okay, okay. All
All right,
right.
hold it, because
We were
like
just making.
he okay,
We were
like
just making
relax on
sure
Aston,
Aston's still here. We're
because
just making. It doesn't
he's the
matter. It
guy
doesn't
he's the
matter.
guy recording the debate, bro. Like,
Okay,
my
okay.
bad,
We
but
got it. We got it. We got it. We got it.
yeah,
Aston won't get. We got it.
Lee, you still here
okay,
by the way?
Can you just
yeah.
repeat
Aston,
what
don't.
we missed,
Aston.
like in the
Yeah,
rec?
yeah, yeah.
I'm
I
just asking
mean,
Yo,
to
Lee,
Yo,
repeat what
I'm
you
here.
said.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
you been listening so far?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
point, the thing that
Yeah, I've
they've
been
been
listening.
talking about so far has just been they've been on the what is
definition of a
brawling
brawler. Yeah.
definition.
Yeah, definition
So
probably.
yeah,
Yeah.
because the definition of like brawling in like the sense of, because here's the thing, I think brawling like is a flexible definition. There's a lot of ways you can apply brawling. Like I feel like this is a perfect example of it.
I think it's a yeah, I agree. I think it's a big umbrella term that fits a lot of fighters into that
Yeah,
category.
and I'm saying within this context, it should just be referring to like overall fighting. Given one, the kanji, and
That's
two,
fine, but you don't
yeah,
disagree with
and
my your guy doesn't disagree with my definition of brawler.
but it just quite frankly does, because you're saying that it's your whole okay, like just for clarification, your whole argument is literally that it's not a category that fits like all the fighters, including people like Buddha, because of the fact that brawling is like more like this rough style, like like just more like aggressive, I guess, like uncalculated, unclean martial arts. But I'm telling you that this can't be the case, because a lot of the qualities that Shiva has are like directly opposing that, and because of that, like I don't see how you're gonna argue
Yeah,
that.
it's rough and noisy, right? And a lot of times,
Mhm.
like again, I'll bring even though you don't know who Ilya is, doesn't matter. Ilya likes getting in people's faces and swinging, and this is what generally brawlers are known to do. There's a lot of brawlers in the UFC, like a lot of marauders, like Josh Emmett. They just want to get in your face and start swinging and swinging, right?
Yeah.
That in itself is considered at a high level a very calculated and smooth martial art. This being able to brawl on the inside is like a big fundamental part of like being a great fighter. So even though this guy could be a brawler, he could still be considered smooth and clean on top of being unpredictable.
Okay.
All this is
Yeah.
perfectly okay with being a brawler. When you
Okay.
say like somebody's not a brawler and they're clean, you would say their techniques are very refined and exquisite and stuff like that. That's when you would start saying like somebody's not a brawler, right? Like they stay
Yeah.
on the inside, they stick to the fundamentals, right? But this
Whoa. I
dude that we're
disagree with
talking
that.
about here, well, that's what you see generally when somebody is not a brawler. They will stick to the fundamentals, and they will stay on the outside. They'll stick to the sweet science. Like Floyd Mayweather is a perfect example of somebody who's not a brawler. He
I don't
doesn't really
think
like engaging. He doesn't really like engaging to fight 100% of the time like that.
I
The
don't
thing
think
that you're having is here.
conventionality
The
like
thing that you're having here is that not only is your guy stated to be one, right? You're arguing that you don't really think he meets that definition, even though he stated to be one. On top of him being stated to be one, if we have the interpretation battle here, right?
okay.
At a baseline, he is unpredictable, and nothing else that you could tell me about him doesn't like unmatch that
Okay.
definition for him. So you have
Okay.
to
Yeah.
tell me
Two
something
things.
about him that
Yeah. I got
doesn't
you.
remove that label of brawler from him.
Yeah, so I feel like you kind of like slightly strawman my position. My position never denied that he was a brawler. Like I want to make that clear for Lee as well. I wasn't saying that he was not a brawler because obviously the statement does say he is a brawler. But what I'm putting into question here is if what brawler here means is your definition of brawler. That's like literally what I'm putting into question. And I'm saying that if the main definition of brawling is that, and it's something that like isn't like fundamental and stuff like that, other characters will not be included in it. That's where I disagree because I do think that other characters be included in this like
Zizo,
definition
what
of
is a
brawler.
non-brawler? What is a non-brawler?
I mean, in this case, I just think of non-brawler as like a weapon use, someone like who doesn't like fight with their hands. Like that's kind of the way I interpret it in Record of Ragnarok.
That's not in Record of Ragnarok. Somebody who's a non-brawler is
Like
somebody.
I
So
mean,
you think
yeah, contextually the way like it's applied here, it must be the case because I don't think conventionality or someone being unconventional takes away like from them being brawlers or not. Someone who sticks to the fundamentals could still be a brawler. Like that, I don't see an issue with that. Like there's nothing about the definition that
wait,
contradicts it.
why do you think that?
Because yeah,
Somebody that sticks to the straight fundamentals and doesn't engage in everything is not a rough fighter. Like what do
because
you say Floyd? Wait, I'm gonna ask you a question. What do you say Floyd Mayweather? You know who Floyd Mayweather is, right?
yes, I know who.
Okay, so Floyd Mayweather likes hitting and moving, right?
Sure, hitting and moving.
Okay, so you concede him being not a brawler. That's a
Okay,
concession.
so Shiva also likes hitting and moving. So you also concede that he's like not like the general definition.
Well, I mean,
Kinda
he wants to minimize like getting non-hit as much as possible. Like Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is so okay with like not engaging in the actual fight and keeping people on the outside and completely blocking and parrying everything that he literally doesn't fit the criteria of being a brawler.
That's literally what Shiva does as well. Like I hope you know that. Like the moment like he opens you up, like he capitalizes on you. Yeah, I got you. Like to say that he's like a brawler because of the way he fights is ridiculous. So yeah, I got you.
Okay, let me see his fight. Yes, an unpredictable, unorthodox fighter that does not it's oh my goodness, yeah, you're never gonna be able to prove this shit.
Okay, so yeah, like he just waits until like he finds opening. After he finds them, like he just counters you. Like to say like that's a brawler is kind of crazy, but yeah, I got you.
He dodges and counters you, and that's not anything.
Where is he? Yeah, so I want everyone to also look at the scans and important scans because like the guy's trolling when he says like this is like rough fighting, like noisy fighting, all this bullshit. Okay, so first scan, Shiva's flowing strike land a hit on their mark, and then like we see him like literally dance around Raiden's like attacks, like just land like clean hard counters on him. Like that's literally his whole fighting. That's literally what he does with his dance. Like he just moves around you, and you can't read him, and then he just counters. That's literally the whole fighting. It's similar to, if anything, it's similar to Floyd.
Brother, okay, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yeah.
You said it's similar to Floyd. Do you think that this fighting style is similar to how Apollo fights?
Apollo, like the god Apollo?
Yes.
Like the boxing Apollo, right?
Yes, the one who was boxing.
I mean, in a sense, yeah.
You think that the way that they're fighting is similar?
Like
Why?
it capitalizes on footwork, and then it kind of like finds openings and like
Yeah, but
counter.
he's still in their he's dancing around his opponent and he's bringing the fight to them and he's kind of in their face. Meanwhile, he's engaging with him like 100%. Apollo is engaging and disengaging, which is the Floyd Mayweather pattern. That's why I
Wait,
don't
hold
think he
on.
can have
Okay,
any career.
because here's the thing. Like, I don't. You think that that's the fundamental, like engaging and disengaging, just because someone meets you like in your face, like that means that.
You're a brawler? Yes, that's literally what
Because
everybody knows in
here's the
like
thing. Like, here's the thing. Because other martial arts that are fundamental are also super in your face. Like use a lot
no,
of like rough tech. Okay,
no. A
okay.
couple
You know,
maybe, a couple and I'll grant you Lee Tway and Muay Thai. And Lee Tway and Muay Thai, those dudes, like 99% of them niggas are all brawlers. That's
like
like how
also
they
it's
train for
also like
fighting.
a lot of wrestling is also like that's super fundamental. Like it's a lot like trading, getting in your face. Like sumo wrestling's like that too. Like this
Yeah,
idea that because you stick to
I
the
don't deny
fundamentals.
that.
Okay, so like this idea that you stick to the fundamentals means that you're not a brawler is ridiculous because there's
Yeah,
a lot of
but
like
remember,
rough styles of fighting.
in mixed martial arts, not everybody wants to fully engage. Like for example, Marab is a brawler and is a marauder. Marab stays in your face and wants to engage 100% of the fight. Most, like 75% of the roster, does not want to do that. They want to hit you and they want to jump back up.
Yeah, I mean,
100%. The guy
wait,
who
hold
just
on. You're presupposing that's
oh,
brawling still. Like that's not rough. Like regardless, the
wait,
issue is like what you're putting into like what I'm putting into question here is like that definition fits or like abides like rough. Like I don't agree with that.
what, staying in somebody's face and engaging the
That
entire time?
doesn't, yeah, that doesn't mean like you're rough, like you're rough style
Yes,
fighting. Like
that's
that's
rough. That is what people generally accept to be rough style because it's draining and suffocating, and the pace goes 100% towards from the beginning to the end. The opposite spectrum of that is what everybody considers to be clean fighting. You don't have another proper analogy in the world of martial arts to prove that to me because you don't know what you're talking about.
What do you mean I don't have a proper? Wait, what do you want me to prove exactly with an analogy?
Okay, I'm saying that somebody who takes the action to somebody and pushes the face from the pace from the beginning to the end of a fight is a brawler. And I think that perfectly meets the definition of what and how brawlers fight and how they bring the fights to people and they just like get in there and they slug it out and they just bring the action to people. A lot of people consider those dudes brawlers and marauders, which is like universally used
Yeah.
together most of the time.
Okay.
Okay. If people who fight the opposite of that are not considered brawlers.
People who fight the opposite of that, which is like getting like out of their face and stuff.
Yeah, they have no issue like just like disengaging.
Hold on.
They'll flee from combat. Like, have no
Just
problem doing
because, hold on, just because the opposite of it, like or like something that's being negated here, isn't considered a brawler, doesn't mean the thing that's being negated when it's not negated automatically means they're a brawler. Because I don't think that's the
That's
necessary
a
condition.
contradiction, Zizo.
No,
That's
it's
a
not. It's not a contradiction because it's not the necessary condition for what a brawler is. That's the problem. Like I can, for
Zizo,
example,
what you granted. Okay, what do you think a brawler is? Let's put it all together.
okay, again, a brawler is a reckless, rough style of fighting. Like that's like what the definition is. Correct?
Okay, that's great. A reckless and rough style of fighting. So you think getting into somebody's face and pushing the action and pushing the pace of the fight from 100%
That's not necessarily. That's
from
not
start to
necessarily
finish
reckless.
is not reckless? Okay, so that's
No, it can easily be
that's
calculated.
not conserving. That's non-conserving energy and pushing the action 24/7 is literally what meets you under the definition of
Wait,
reckless and rough.
a few things. Because the problem with that is that even though like you're using energy to like push the action, you get a lot of advantages from it. Like you're controlling the fight, you're forcing the other person on the defensive a lot. Obviously it
Yeah,
depends on
because
how
it's like,
skilled you.
yeah, yeah,
But so
because that's how
it's not really that reckless, is it, Jester?
I
Like there's
don't.
a lot of calculations in it, and there's a lot of martial arts, and there's a lot of fighting styles that surround you or surround that kind of combat style. So this idea that
Yeah,
oh,
I
it's
think
like
a lot of
it's
martial arts. Yeah, I think that doesn't resolve anything because I think a lot of
hello.
brawling. Yeah, hello. Yeah, I think a lot of martial arts promote brawling and
But that's
promote that
begging the
type of style.
question though. Like
It's not, I'm gonna
that's
explain to
begging
you
the
why it's
question.
not. I'm not. I'm gonna explain to you exactly why it's not begging the
Alright.
question. If you're saying that it's not reckless to push the pace from 24/7, yes, you get advantages of it, but that's the point of gambling with the recklessness and making the fighting. A lot of people make livings off of that, right? That's the whole point of gambling. You're gambling your stamina bar against how much pressure the opponent could take. And a lot of people, a lot of time in combat sports, crack. And the gamble doesn't work. Like people like Josh Emmett, they get in your face, they swing, 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 swing. I do grant you that that could be calculated, right? But at the same time, it being calculated, it is reckless because you're creating many more variables pushing that type of fight other than keeping it safe and at a distance. You're creating a lot of more variables. So
Okay.
I'm saying the more variables you create, the more reckless the fight is. And people who push the pace from 24/7, from 100%, from the beginning to the end, are creating a lot more variables in the fight for them to lose. So
Okay.
yes, that is reckless definitionally.
I have a few problems. For one, this whole like like a lot of martial arts surround like brawling and stuff. I mean, for one, that kind of begs the question that what the brawl what the martial arts
That's fine. You
surrounds
can
is the
forget that.
brawling.
I just justified it. Why I
Okay,
think
okay, yeah. And then after that, you try to justify with the whole reckless thing, explaining why it's reckless. The reason why I don't really think it's a gamble, or like you can interpret it in the same way as like a gamble, like an actual gamble, is because gambles and stuff like that are like resorted to like purely luck. There is a lot of skill involved in like being in someone's face and like pressuring them and stuff like that. There's a lot of tactical advantages to it. There's a lot of like reasoning that goes into it. This idea that it's reckless doesn't make any sense because there's punishments. Just because something has punishments or has like negative consequences to it, if it fails, doesn't make it reckless, given the fact that what I interpret recklessness to be, like what's generally accepted to be reckless, is something that's without a plan, something that's not calculated. But those things are calculated regardless if there's like negative side effects of it, or there's things that can go awry if they fail. Like that doesn't make it reckless. Like I don't agree with that. So given that your
Okay,
justification
you
for it being
didn't track.
reckless,
You want
it
to
means it's
conclude?
not a brawl.
Okay, you want to conclude? You didn't track.
I mean,
I'll conclude this
you
point
can
right now. I'll
you
conclude
can
this
repeat
point right now.
you can repeat yourself. If you think I missed something, like you can repeat it.
I did 2 or 3 times already. I just don't think you're responding. Like you're just
Okay,
not.
you don't think I responded? I mean, we can I
No,
guess
we can conclude right now.
because I think if you did say something, I just don't think it's relevant. Like I really like if it's so like insignificant, like it doesn't
You
affect.
don't think it's relevant? Okay, that's
Like
perfect.
it probably wouldn't be
Yeah.
relevant. Yeah.
If you don't think what I'm about to say in conclusions is relevant, then you just weren't tracking.
Okay. I mean, I guess you can if you like think you snuck something in or something like that. But
I
okay.
didn't sneak anything. I've been saying it for most of the debate.
I
I
mean,
clarified it for you twice towards
I
the
mean,
end.
I guess like I mean, if this like okay, so I'm gonna tell you this like
Okay,
I
ready to
guess
conclude now? Do you think you got me?
before we finish, all I'm gonna say is like if my point goes through in that he's a better fighter than Buddha and like my suppression things work, like I guess would you agree that like your character's ability wouldn't work on mine and I win the debate? And if my character like my point doesn't go through and like he's not a better fighter than Buddha, like I can agree like my character wouldn't do anything to your character.
Not really. I don't think that's true that he couldn't do anything to him because his ability is much more complicated than you think. It works off a lot of more parameters. So let's just conclude on the actual point. I don't know why you're like, on.
I mean, sure. I'm just saying like okay.
If you
I
think
guess
you want
like
to conclude right now, if you think you want to conclude right now.
I mean, yeah, we can conclude like yeah.
Okay. You ready, Lee?
Yeah, you can conclude.
Yeah, I'm listening, bro. I'm listening.
Okay, yeah, I tell Zizo straight up to his face that type of fighting style of pushing the pace and taking the action to the opponent 24/7 from start to finish creates many more variables than its counterpart. So when somebody usually does that, because of the amount of variables they're creating, weighing the positive and the consequence, because of the amount of variables it creates, that is considered brawling because it is definitionally that is definition what it means to be reckless. You're not minimizing the amount of variables that you have in a fight to keep you safe. When you take it to the opponent, you're like almost maximizing it. That's why I said straight up to him. When somebody keeps at a distance and probes and focuses on their defense and on their defense and stays from a distance, pretty much that is what would be considered a non-brawler, which is how I was saying Apollo was fighting earlier, which is why how Mayweather fights, he just doesn't really engage with the other opponent. He makes them engage with him and he disengages.
Okay.
So that's why I don't think Apollo's fighting style matches up with what Shiva's doing. And from the point earlier, I asked him, do you think Apollo and Shiva are, similar fighters in the way they fight? I just disproved that because they don't fight the same way, because he concedes the fact that Shiva engages the fight from 100% to finish and Apollo engages and disengages, which is Floyd Mayweather's style. And if their styles are night and day, if that's the case, then it seems to be the case that one person's a brawler and one person's a non-brawler from what I've proven evidentially. Okay, give a conclusion.
Okay, yeah. So to conclude, I really just got like gaslit by Jester there. I did address this point like verbatim, like on recording too. Yeah. So I explained to him how like the variables like and the negative consequences don't take away from the idea of like it being reckless. And I explained to him like the general definition, like what reckless usually means is something that's like uncalculated without a plan. And I'm saying that in these cases where someone's pressuring you and is in your face, that's skill dependent one. That does take a plan. There's a lot of calculations and there's a lot of thought that goes into it. So this idea that it's reckless and those variables are not taken into account is ridiculous because those things are taken into account regardless. Therefore, it's not that reckless. Like the Apollo stuff, he also like just kind of strawman because I was explaining to him like how it was similar, in what sense it was similar. Because something being similar doesn't make it identical. I said it's similar in the sense that the footwork is like it relies on footwork and like relies on like opening you up and like getting counters and stuff like that. And I showed him that. I think my definition is just really like applied more consistently, and he tried to use like the general definition of rough and noisy and just use rough and reckless in like completely wrong contexts that make like literally no sense and they just don't consist with what actually happens. which is Shiva just being like a very calculated, like very smooth flowing fighter, like who just relies on clean openings and hard counters. Because of that, because I justified my definition of reckless, his whole brawler thing, anyways, like depends on the definition of reckless. He kind of begged the question on that, and then like he dropped and like moved on to that. And I think I just justified like why my reckless is like better than his, and why a lot of my definitions are more consistent, even in the framework of UFC and martial arts. I think I really justified everything more. I do think like this would apply. So yeah, I don't see like how Jester won. But yeah, yes. That's it, Bigly.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, hold on. I'm just looking over his shit real quick. Give me a second.
Zizo, you a bit.
Hi guys.
Yo, Jester, what was your response when Zizo was saying that when y'all were talking about recklessness, he was saying that it's a use of luck rather than skill, like when you were trying to provide some like definitional basis.
He said it's a use of luck rather than skill.
No, he said it's use of skill. My bad. A use of skill rather than luck.
Yeah, I told him recklessness is a use of skill. He said that that's crazy because I told him definitionally recklessness means to like, or if you create more variables, that definitionally means being reckless, and he just never responds to that. So that probably would be the response right there.
Yeah, I honestly I don't because like I think it was easy didn't necessarily like I mean y'all both like gave like two definitions to what reckless means. And like y'all were like both like just arguing for whatever each other's like reckless means in the sense. Like
Yeah, because earlier in the debate, I said like I'm okay with brawlers being skilled fighters and calculated.
yeah, I already know that. I
that's
already
okay
know
by
you already
definition,
said
yeah.
like calculation. Like I think if we're talking about the like stuff at the beginning where Zizo was trying to say like smooth motions or using martial arts, I do think that just coincides with the fact that they're also just still
I mean, the
brawlers.
thing is,
But
none of the things that Zizo mentioned was like mutually exclusive with being
what
reckless
the
or being a
fuck?
brawler. So,
Yeah, what is
What
he
the
talking
fuck is
about, bro? That's
this?
your launch.
But like I'm just I just like
Wait,
it's
hold on,
like
because the question was like phrased wrong. Because we were talking about like recklessness and like how like there's a lot of gambles that go into it, and that's what makes it reckless. But I was saying that that's like gambles are usually like luck dependent, and like this is more like skill based. And I just don't agree like your definition of like reckless and stuff
Oh
like
wait,
that. And just
if he says that he concedes, yeah, if he says that and he doesn't address what I say, he's instantly because if he says that gambles are more, gambles are more luck dependent and gambling would be recklessness, and I tell him that if it is the case that creating more variables is
that isn't
gambling,
luck though. That's depend on your skill. That's the point. Like you didn't track that. Like you just
more
mistracked horribly.
you're the one that's not tracking, Zizo.
I understand there's more variables, but like that doesn't make it more luck or like more gamble based. Like, that's still all dependent on skills.
Literally what
All
it
these
is.
variables,
That is
all of these. Wait,
what?
hold on. Yeah, I
That is
agree.
what
Explain to
variables is.
because I explained to you how all these variables are taken into account beforehand. That's why it's not reckless because reckless is like going in without a plan. You're not thinking about it. You're just depending on luck and gambling on yourself. That
This
isn't
is my
reckless.
response to this point. That's my response to that point.
You just repeated yourself and said I didn't track, and you
No,
try to gaslight me. Like,
wait, you said that point, and I responded with what I told you right now.
brother, like you just like literally like your response to it was like literally saying that like I already responded to this and like you just said the same thing again. That's literally what happened. Like that's why I
That brother is
try to
fucking
gaslight.
Hell
shallow.
no, hell no.
All right. I mean, it's fine. Like, I guess you could just like
Give
give it up to Lee, bro. Like, Lee can also like rewatch the recording, whatever he wants to do. Like, because I
like
know everything was in
like
recording.
Yeah, because if you don't deny the definition I give you, right? And the
I
definition
did.
is that in the definition that definitionally what it means to be reckless is that you create more variables for yourself, which turns it into a luck-based thing. And I tell you that pushing the pace from start to finish does this for a fact.
I
And if
said
it doesn't, okay,
recklessness. Hold on, recklessness.
oh my God,
Here's where like I gave you the contradiction.
go for
Recklessness just generally means like going into something without a plan or like without like taking the variables into account and stuff like that. And like that's like where the luck comes in. But I'm saying that if someone's in your face, those things are calculated, those things are planned, and like those things are
even if
like
it
are
is,
built upon by
But like
skill.
y'all are
That's where
just
the
giving
contradiction
two
is.
different
stop, stop,
definitions
stop,
of
wait, no,
Yeah,
no,
and
no.
I think
So,
yeah,
like
exactly. And
wait.
I said this
Wait,
in my
oh my god, oh
conclusion.
my
I said I
god.
justified my definition more, and his is just
Oh my goodness,
inconsistent with what's
bro.
happening in reality.
Even if they go into it with a plan, I'm still okay with there being calculated brawlers. That doesn't disagree with what I'm saying. Even if they go in with for a plan, the style of brawling, which you're okay being somebody like pushing, well, not you being okay with this, but if somebody pushes the pace from start to finish, that no matter what creates variables is what I'm saying. So if it creates variables against you, you are inherently gambling. You can't just say you're not and just
I
use an
disagree with
argument
that.
for that.
I disagree with that fundamentally.
I think Zizu though, I think that's like kind of just because his definition of the thing is that it's creating variables, and you're kind of like by
I
virtue
understand that. I was
agreeing
saying
that.
that I said like that wasn't like the generally accepted thing, and I explained to him like why like it doesn't make sense for his definition to be the case. Like
Yeah, but like okay, but you're saying okay, y'all are both giving definitions of reckless, correct?
yeah, like my my
Yeah,
definition.
and then he says that the definition of reckless is that it just creates variables. Like when you go in, you create more variables that like lower your safety rather than maximizing your
Yeah,
safety, correct?
I know that, and I addressed that like directly. Like
Yeah, and I think you like said something back to it, but like you just said like it's more like luck. You never disagree with the fact that variables are being created, right?
I mean, yeah, but I said like that doesn't. I said it. I literally said verbatim. It making more variables doesn't mean it's reckless. Like, I'm pretty sure I said that verbatim, but
It
like in the
creating,
recording.
but like that's
Yeah,
isn't
bro,
that
you
like
need
his
to.
isn't that like his definition though? Like
I mean,
you're agreeing. I'm not
like,
biased. I'm just genuinely trying to get both sides. That's why I haven't like judged.
I understand. Yeah, but like I was like basically what I was trying to say was like that his definition is like more proprietary, anyways. Like I'm just trying to say like what generally reckless means. Like he can give his own personal definition, I guess, but like it's more proprietary and it doesn't apply like within context because if that he can define anything as anything. He can say like God is a football. Like he can say whatever he wants. But like I said verbatim, the generally accepted definition is this because of like the whole like martial arts thing. Like it's taken into account. All these things are accounted for,
What is he
and
saying
that's why
right
it's not reckless. Like even if you want to search up the
What?
definition of reckless, like
Okay,
that's literally what they say.
yeah,
Like
but
What did he just
okay, but you said the thing about using the calculation, right? Like the things about using martial arts and how it's calculated, right?
I'm saying the reason why variables don't make it more reckless is because those variables are accounted for, and the whole point of recklessness is like it's not without a plan. Like, that's kind of the
But
point.
I think isn't recklessness just a sub point of your arguing about brawlers in which Jester isn't disagreeing with the fact that there can be calculated like reckless people or calculated
Hold on.
brawlers, right? Isn't
Thank
that the
you.
point?
I
Thank you.
granted the whole calculated brawlers thing, but I was saying under the definition, Shiva cannot be like a brawler based on like the way he's described,
But
and
how
that's
did
like
wait, but you're trying to wait, I'm genuinely trying to get what you're saying. You're trying to use the fact that he's calculated as a contradiction to him being reckless, yet calculation doesn't contradict him being reckless, right?
no. I'm saying that it doesn't contradict him being a brawler because like overall, like just the
Bunch of
general
Wait,
because
legacy
it doesn't contradict him being a brawler? What are you
yeah,
saying?
I'll explain to you why. Because what we agreed upon is brawler is a very like what's the word malleable like unique like umbrella term, right? Like there's a lot
Yeah,
of ways
yeah,
like a
y'all
brawler
agree. I
can be used,
remember that.
and
Yeah.
that yeah, and that's why I was saying that yeah, like in certain contexts, yeah, a brawler can be calculated if it's used in a different manner. Because obviously, I'm saying that Shiva isn't like a calculated brawler because he's called a brawler. But I'm saying the manner it's used here cannot be the same as like the general definition of him just being a reckless, like drunk, noisy fighter, because of the fact that he's calculated. That's the point I was trying to say. Like, and all
Okay,
of like
that's fine.
And
I agree. Okay, yeah, he lost.
and
I
I'm saying that brawler here just in general like is like a fighter because and that's why to include Buddha and like I'm saying that that's why in this case brawlers
Yes,
can be
we know.
calculated.
We know. Yes,
But
I.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
using the
okay,
calculation as a counterpoint, but I told you within my definition of brawler, what I'm talking about, that's fine. Like that's okay.
but
yeah,
I'm
like, cause you
talking.
try to say like, okay, Zizo. So you're saying because he's a calculated brawler, that doesn't entail that it would not also include just like regular fighters as well.
No, that's Jester's argument. He's trying to say that because of the
No,
fact
he's
that
saying it includes regular fighters. So you're saying the opposite.
no,
I
because
mean,
he's
no,
trying
he's
to
saying you're right. You're
yeah,
right.
because he's trying to
You're
say like
saying
oh
it would
Buddha's
include. It would
yeah
include.
like in Record of Ragnarok when they say Shiva's the best brawler, it would include fighters like Buddha because I'm saying that Shiva's also like a planned, calculated fighter in all like these manners, like he's still called a brawler, and like his martial arts called a brawler, and that's what I'm saying in this
Mm-hmm.
case. That's how it applies. Jester's whole argument was that Jester's whole argument was literally that because of the fact that it's like oh like rough noisy like quarrels and stuff like that 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 shouldn't apply to characters like Buddha and other fighters like it's like a very specific term and I was explaining to him why that isn't the case and the reason why is because a reckless fighter isn't a fighter who's like calculated and planned. That's kind of the whole gist of it.
Well, I mean, bro,
If you want, like, listen, like,
I feel like I don't want to keep arguing with you about it, but like you like it just sounds like you're saying like, okay, so it includes other fighters. You're saying calculated brawlers doesn't contradict it including other fighters, but like your only evidence or like credence towards that is the fact that he's a calculated brawler.
I mean,
like I don't think.
Wait, hold on.
that
Ask the
'cause
question again.
I said, bro, these niggas in this chat on my dick.
I'm saying
But
he said he stated to be like a brawler. Like, you are aware of the scans,
yes,
right?
yes, I know y'all both agreed on the fact he's a brawler, and like you just said right now, you agree that he's a calculated brawler as well, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying that the definition of brawler here is different. Like the standard, like, fucking Google definition. Do you understand?
Yes, I do understand.
I mean, listen, if you want
He
to like
said,
rewatch your like, because I feel like you kind of forgot like some stuff.
because
But
then y'all just get into like, okay, you said, because I'm not tripping. I know you were trying to create a distinction in the definitions, but like,
And to throw it even
I think
further,
when y'all got into the arguments, I don't think you like, because we just talked about that at the beginning of the judgment, like the gambling thing. Like that's where y'all started to get into like the distinctions between the
yeah,
definitions.
because he's trying to use like different UFC fighters and stuff to say that these martial arts
And
artists.
I mean, bro, I don't know. I kind of get my judgment at the beginning of that. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to get both sides, but like I think if we're just talking about that, if that's what you're saying, and then it just dissolved into y'all talking about like the distinction and definition, I think Jester just won the point on like the distinction of the definitions.
I mean, all right,
yeah,
that's
even
fine.
and even worse because I made the distinction between Apollo and
I mean,
like,
I
clear
addressed that,
distinction
but like
between
that's
Apollo.
fine.
Yeah, but it's just clearly the case. I pointed out that Apollo doesn't fully engage the fight 100% in the way that Shiva does. Shiva engages from start to finish, which creates more variables. Apollo does the polar opposite. I'm pointing them out as polar opposites.
I mean, I remember like I already like addressed that. Like I said, I said like literally verbatim that it means that like just him like making more variables doesn't mean it's like reckless. Like I try to use the general definition for it. Like if he has his own personal like proprietary definition, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't apply to ROR or anything. That's kind of like the whole gist of it. Like, but
You're just disagreeing with what it is. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, and that's I responded to that with the, if you create more variables, definitionally, that is what it means to be reckless. And like, you just don't have a counter example at all for that. So you just like lost.
a counter example for the definition of reckless. Like I'm confused because it's your label of reckless. Of course, I'm not gonna have a definition of your label of reckless. Like it's your definition. Like if that's your necessary condition, that's fine. Like I understand that, but like other than that, like that doesn't matter. Like that's not the point of it because it's your definition. I can't give you a counter case on your own definition.
Caesar, can I ask you a question? What do you think is
go for it.
safer? What's safer in a fight? Less or more variables?
Less or more variables?
Yes.
I mean, probably less. Yeah.
Okay, so it's less. So if somebody who fights one way minimizes the amount of variables versus another fighting style which maximizes the creation of the amount of variables, who's the brawler, who's the non-brawler?
It doesn't have to be either. The reason for that is because of the fact that it's when someone goes aggressive, like fights in your face, that's still accounted for and that's still planned for and that's still like all like calculated and like there's martial arts designs.
I agree with that.
And that's what I'm saying, that it's not reckless, and that's what reckless means. Like I can send you the definition of reckless, but if you're using I mean it's fine. Like if that's the whole debate. Like that's kind of it for like that's just the main point really. Like
is that it? Okay,
I mean, bro, if y'all just want to get valid or rejudge the point, I mean, it's whatever.
Fine, but I mean that's just the end of it. Like I lost the judgment.
That's it. Like y'all ain't
debating no more. That was literally my main. Like I literally said, like that was my main contention for the point. Like if I lost the judgment, I lost the judgment.
All right, good debate.
All right, that's it. Good debate.
Cheers.
No screaming, no yelling, no nothing.
Man, that shit was ass.
Bro,
I ain't hear a single racial slur.
Let me relook. Y'all relook.
I'm unmuted. My bad.
That shit was ass, Ghost.
Yeah.